Hello, Coachella Valley, and welcome to the comeback. I'm your host, Katie Stice, CEO at the Rancho Mirage Chamber of Commerce. And do we have a comeback for you today? Please let us know in the comments where you're watching from, and let's bring our guests in today. We're going to be talking with Alzheimer's Association Coachella Valley about the comeback of their walk this year, and we're just thrilled about this organization, who they are, what they do, who they serve, and they haven't stopped serving even throughout the crisis. So let's bring in Vlad and Ralph as well. Hello, gentlemen. How are you today?
Doing
Great.
great, Katie. Thank you for having us.
Thanks, Katie.
Absolutely. It's always a pleasure. We got to work together throughout the entire crisis, and you all never stopped serving the community. And so I just want to say thank you so much for everything that you've done.
Absolutely,
Our
Katie.
pleasure.
It was a tough year for all nonprofits and all businesses, but we are so fortunate to live here in the Coachella Valley and really have the community step up and support the walk last year, regardless of what it looked like. So we really are fortunate to live where we do and have the community support that we do.
And Katie, on behalf of the association, thank you once again for offering us this platform. And we thank all of the members of your chamber for their great support and help.
Oh my gosh, absolutely. It's been a pleasure to work with you all. We love this walk every year. And I just put on the screen for everyone who's watching the date, the location, the hashtag. That's it. Everybody's getting involved. But Vlad, why don't you kick it off and tell us a little bit about what people can expect this year?
Yeah.
And by the way, welcome back. It feels so good to look forward to a walk again this year.
Oh, I couldn't agree more, Katie. And I am so excited to tell everybody that this year the walk is live. It's going to be in person at the Palm Desert Civic Center Park on November 13th. So it is going to be a little bit different. It's not going to be 100% pre-pandemic. We are very well aware that coronavirus is still out there, so we will be monitoring the condition. And we've made a few event changes to help keep it as safe as possible, like touchless registration, making sure that people have their T-shirts before walk day, and taking away some of the special areas like the kids zone, just because we know that children under 12 can't be vaccinated yet, and as well as the buffet style food. We are not going to have that this year. Other than that, though, the walk is going to look very similar to how it did in years past, and it is going to be 100% a live in-person event. And I will just briefly add that if you are not quite comfortable coming to an in-person event just yet, or if it is difficult for you to travel, if you have any sort of disability and can't leave the house, you can absolutely walk from home as well. So we will have that option as well. And that's what the walk's going to look like this year, Katie.
It's incredible because you're bringing it back, but it's also being really thoughtfully done. Everyone, is able to come and, enjoy the experience because it really is an experience. For folks out there who maybe haven't been to this walk before, it's a very special day. If you're able to attend in person, please do. There is an option to do it still digitally, but right on your screen is Vlad's email and phone number as well, where you can learn more about creating a team, sponsoring the event, really helping to make an impact. And can you tell us a little bit about where proceeds go?
Absolutely, Katie. So much of the proceeds stay right here to help us continue to have our free programs and support. What does that look like? We have 10 recurring support groups here in the Coachella Valley. Right now, they're hybrid. So we have some that are fully in person, some that are fully virtual, and some that are half and half, a little bit in person, some people up on our television. We also have early stage social engagement programs for people living with the disease in the form of our Music Owls program, kind of like musicals, but Music Owls. That's going to start up in the first week of August, and it's our musical therapy program for people living with the disease. Another thing that we provide are free care consultations, which are one-on-one plans of actions that we put together for caregivers and their person living with the disease. All of these programs and services are run right here from our local office, and they would not be possible without the Walk to End Alzheimer's. It's a direct funder. Another thing that we fund that is incredible is research on the national level.
Mhm.
So a portion does go to research because our end game is to end this disease. That's our ultimate goal, is to end it. But we know that that day is not here yet. And in the meantime, we want to make sure that everybody has access to free resources. And really that's what drives the Walk to End Alzheimer's. Lastly, we have our 24/7 1-800 number. And that number is 1-800-272-3900. There's over 200 languages, and you can call anytime around the clock. So the Walk does fund that as well. So that is where the dollars are going.
And
Excellent.
Katie, if I may, in addition to what Vlad said, obviously the end goal is to have a world without Alzheimer's. And as you know, it's a terrible disease. And any parent or any family that has been afflicted with it, the emotional and financial strain that it puts on them is enormous. And our message to the people that are afflicted and the families that are involved is that we're here for you. You're not
Yeah.
alone. We were there for you in the pandemic. We're in a new normal now. I think we alluded to that as to the walk. We want everyone to be safe. That's our number one priority. But we are there for the people that do suffer from this disease. And it's a disease that has no cure. And
That's right.
that's what we're working toward every minute of every day.
And it's incredible. And I know, Vlad, you and I have talked about this before, but there are no survivors, right? And so um, we really need our community to come out in support, in assistance, in awareness, and learn about this amazing association, number one, that we have here, where if you know Vlad, if you know Ralph, if you know the organization, you know that these are free services to families, and they're really powerful, and they're really changing the way families can survive through the time. But two, it's really going also to help find that cure so that someday we can have survivors, right? Or even, get rid of it altogether. But we need to start somewhere. So I appreciate both of you for all of the time and attention that you put into the organization. I know it's in your heart. We're excited that the walk is coming back. But Vlad, why don't you tell us, why do you do what you do? You've been with this organization now for how long?
I started volunteering a little over 4 years ago now as an intern while I was at College of the Desert. Now I've been a staff member coming up on 3.5 years now. And the reason that I got involved, first and foremost, I went through this disease. My grandfather was not a caregiver. He had Alzheimer's, and he passed away in June of last year from the disease. It finally took his life. And I saw the hardship that it put my family through. This was back when I was a teenager, when I was caregiving for him, and I had absolutely no idea that there were support groups out there. I had no idea that there were free education courses that help caregivers in their conversations with their loved one who has the disease, dementia conversations. These are incredibly useful resources that are available free of charge. That are available to the community. And I got involved initially, especially to just get the word out there and spread awareness. It is just so imperative that people know about our free programs and services, because Alzheimer's disease is hard enough. It's hard
Hmm.
enough to go through it by yourself. I know that. Anybody who's ever been a caregiver knows that, and knows the feeling that it just feels impossible when you're going through it. So our job is to alleviate, first and foremost, that feeling of having to go through the disease alone. And that's why I got involved. And the Walk to End Alzheimer's is just so much fun. We have such a good day on the day of the
Yep.
walk. And I love working with volunteers, just like Ralph here, on the Walk to End Alzheimer's. It brings me so much joy to see the whole community come together on Walk Day for one cause,
Yeah.
and to just see the impact that it makes here locally. There's nothing more rewarding than what I'm doing, to be completely
Oh,
honest. It's amazing.
Well, it's incredible and it comes through as well. And what about you, Ralph? Why do you help out with the Alzheimer's Association, Coachella Valley?
Well, a little more than a year ago, I met Vlad at a breakfast, and he started to talk to me about his involvement. And it was just as the pandemic was hitting.
Mm.
And I decided that I wanted to get involved. And the reason is because of how lucky I've been throughout my life and how lucky my family is. My appeal and my outreach are to the people like me who've been spared this incredible disease. I'm very, very lucky. My parents are alive and well, they're in their 90s. And I'm hoping that more people like me who have been spared will hear the word, will get involved, and will contribute to the walk and will contribute to the organization.
Well, I think that that's so meaningful. I know your hearts are in it, so I thought that was an important message to send. And so, Vlad, why don't you just kind of take us home and end our interview by sharing the many different ways people can get involved, either with the walk or with the association itself.
Absolutely, Katie. Absolutely. So, first and foremost, if you are a caregiver, if you are somebody who's living with dementia or Alzheimer's disease, call us. We want to give you free resources. That's our number one priority here in the desert. Our address here is 74020 Alessandro Drive. Stop in anytime. We're here 9 to 5. Our doors are open, wide open for you, and we're here to serve the community and to provide these free resources. So that's the number one thing. The second thing that I would encourage you to do is support the Walk to End Alzheimer's to help keep this going, to help continue funding these amazing programs and services that we have here at our office. How you can get involved with Walk. Number one, get registered. You can
Mhm.
register at act.alz.org/CV, like Coachella Valley. And registration is free. There's no monetary ask involved when you register. We hope that you will fundraise, but just registering, spreading awareness goes so far on its own. So go ahead and get registered for the walk. That's huge. And then last and definitely not least is show up on walk day.
Mhm.
Come to the Palm Desert Civic Center Park on November 13th. Bring your friends, bring your family. Let's go have a blast. Let's spread concern and awareness for this disease. And perhaps most importantly, let's raise funds to continue our local programs and service first and foremost, but also to continue funding research so that we can end this disease, because we're all tired of Alzheimer's and we've got to see it go. And we really are leaning on the community to support this event. We could
Yes.
not do this without the community. So that's what you can do to get involved. And I want to thank everybody for tuning in today and just hearing us out, because the community needs you. Our walk participants, we cherish them and love them so much. And I can't wait to see everyone at the Palm Desert Civic Center Park on November 13th.
Awesome. And the information is right on your screen. You can reach out to Vlad, you can give a ring, but definitely save that date for November 13th at Civic Center Park. Wear your purple. That's why we made our banners purple today. And let's come out and support our local Alzheimer's Association. They do amazing work in the community and beyond. And of course, there's great folks working and volunteering towards these efforts. And so be a part of the change. We invite all of you to join in. Vlad and Ralph, thank you so much for joining me today to share. Promise to come back as we get closer to the event to share how things are going, and we'll continue to rally folks to build teams and to sponsor and participate as well.
Thank you,
Thank you,
Katie.
Katie. It's been a pleasure as always.
Absolutely. We'll see you guys soon. Take
Bye
care.
now.
Bye bye.
Thanks.
Don't you just love our community? It is these incredible nonprofit organizations and their amazing services that make our valley unique. And so it is all that more important to support them, find different ways to get involved. And thank you so much for tuning in. It's been a pleasure to bring you this series. We really started it during the pandemic as a way to connect what's going on and you. And so we're going to continue to do so because it's been so much fun and so well supported. Thank you all again. Take care of yourselves and each other. We'll see you soon.